Welcome to Financial Minds. I'm Jamie Agostino, your host. We are continuing our series where we explore the people, the ideas, and the strategies that accelerate credit union success. When a credit union is evaluating a new solution, navigating integrations, weighing the features and the benefits, our product managers are the experts that guide that journey with the credit union. They don't just understand the products, they understand how those products connect to core systems, how they work alongside other providers and solutions, how proposals are structured, and most importantly, how each solution supports the long term success of a credit union. Joining me to discuss product management are Andy Crockett, Anthony Greco, and Brian Hoover. Welcome, everyone. Would you mind taking a moment, introduce yourself and explain what you do at Vizo Financial? So, Brian, I'll start with you.
Sure, I'm Brian Hoover. I serve as a product manager for risk management services here at Vizo Financial, and my focus is helping credit unions strengthen their risk management and cybersecurity posture. I do that by connecting them with trusted solutions and partners that we use here at the corporate. And ultimately, my role is helping credit unions protect their members, their data, and their institution while also operating more efficiently and confidently.
All right. Andy, you're on the payment side of the house. So why don't we start with you and have you introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. I am Andy Crockett. I am the Director of Payments Product Managers at Vizo Financial and MyCU Services. I do wear many hats at the corporate. I deal with many of our different departments. So we work very closely with operations, implementation, and many of the other teams throughout the corporate. So I have had the pleasure of being on some of those teams myself. And currently, I do oversee the product managers for the payments side of the corporate. And we are playing a critical role in educating our members and just matching them with the services that meet their needs, and helping them with efficiencies, making sure that they are making the most out of all of their payment services that they have at their organization.
All right. And Anthony?
Yeah, I am Anthony Greco. I am also a product manager here at MyCU Services and Vizo Financial. Main focus is in payments and consumer technology, so more on the bill pay side, but I also assist with check services, EFT, capture services, ACH, and I help out with conversions and mergers and educate credit unions on all the products and services we offer to make them efficient.
All right. Well, and Andy, you have a few other payment product managers on your team. So can you tell us, who they are and what they focus on?
Yeah, sure, of course. So we have Kayla Kruger. She is our product manager of capture services and checks. So she handles and focuses on our draft services, including share drafts, positive pay services, capture solutions like branch capture, teller capture, mobile capture, some of our other image clear services as well that our members take advantage of, and then other fraud services that we have vendor relationships with. And maintaining those relationships as well. We also have Victoria Morrison, who is our product manager of EFT services. So that does cover our ACH services, wire services, and foreign items. So they're all working on those services that they have a vested interest in, they're passionate about, or they, just have accreditations or, are experts in that area.
All right. Well, thank you. So for those listeners who don't fully understand your role, what does a product manager do?
Yeah, so I can start. I think that for the payments product managers, we truly work diligently every single day to ensure the success of our members. We have many members reaching out to us for educational items, demos, brushing up on training, doing a lot of, focusing in on making efficiencies at the credit union, understanding what payment services would help the credit union succeed or accelerate their goals. And so we are matchmakers, if you will, of services for our members so that they can ensure that they are being matched with a service that fits well for their credit union and will then drive continued success for their membership.
I like that, matchmakers.
That was good.
Yes.
As a product manager for risk management services, my job is to make sure credit unions have access to the right tools and solutions to manage risk and cybersecurity effectively. And I also serve as a bridge between credit unions, our internal teams, and our vendor partners, making sure the solutions we offer are practical, effective, and align with real world needs of credit unions. And like Andy said, matchmakers. I like that.
All right.
Yes, I do like how you mentioned too, like maintaining vendor relationships. That's a huge part of the things that we do. Talking to those vendors and, working out, great deals for, the credit unions and making sure that you have some, really good services to offer to your members at maybe even cheaper pricing and things like that to help your members and the credit union.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So,
also assist, I would say, too, when credit unions go through a conversion or merger on some of their services or core systems. We are the kind of forefront of that. So we are front facing with them, explaining, kind of handholding them. Here's what's going to happen. Here are the next steps. We go over kind of the contracts they have with us, what they might have with their vendors, and lead them in the direction to assist with implementation when they have that, and with their vendors as well, to make sure that conversion and merger goes smooth for the credit union and their members that may be impacted with those services.
okay. All right. So then, how do you help credit unions not just understand the product features, but the outcomes and the impact that they have to the credit union?
I think that there's a lot that goes into that. Our members, might have an issue, that they don't know how to respond or put a solution into place for that. And so they come to us looking for ways that maybe we've seen that happen before. Maybe we have experience in that area. Maybe we have a solution that they don't aren't, maybe aren't aware of that we can help them with so that they can make sure that they're meeting their goals. And I mean, to be honest, the impact can be huge. There could be some, operational burdens at the credit union that the credit union is able to take care of very easily. And they might be, sat there wondering why, oh, why haven't I done this sooner? So there's a lot of things that, we come across. A lot of them are through our guiding force through, a lot of our conversion and merger projects and, leads and opportunities. We find that there are a lot of efficiencies that can be made for many credit unions.
Yeah, I've heard you often say creating automation,
Yeah,
stopping a lot of those
streamlining.
stopping some of those manual processes at the credit union, and that gives them time back so that they can focus on their members.
Yeah, and it helps them to focus on them too. It's really important for them to focus on their education too, because, our payment system is changing so rapidly that it's very, overstimulating sometimes. And so I think that it really does help them to free up some of that time to focus on themselves too.
Brian, Anthony, any comments there for that question?
No, I think Andy said, said it great. I think the credit unions, they don't know what they don't know. So if we're kind of looking for your efficiencies and make their life a little bit easier, we're still, gathering information from credit unions when we talk to them, how are they handling simple check deposits? Well, they would be taking it to another financial institution and explaining, the product we have with the capture service can save them time and, efficiency of just keeping everything in their own credit union. So I think just, having conversations and then covering and explaining the efficiencies we have with the products is eye-opening for a lot of credit unions.
And when it comes to risk management, features are important, but outcomes are critical. I mean, you
Yeah.
need to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm kind of curious, what does I feel like I should say matchmaking process or discovery process look like when you're working with a credit union?
Well, I'll typically ask questions like, how are you currently managing your cybersecurity monitoring? What tools are you using for vendor management, risk assessments? How are you training your staff to recognize cybersecurity threats? We also talk about regulatory exams, audit findings, strategic goals. From there, I help identify gaps and align solutions that strengthen their overall risk management framework.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think from our perspective that we are tasked with an important job, and that is listening for things that are kind of left unsaid sometimes, and also looking for those items that, cause us to pause and ask questions. Because, a credit union might say something in passing that gets my gears going. And I might be thinking, oh, well, now I need to ask a couple more questions because I have interest in what you just said. And I want to understand kind of what your process is, what your policy is, how we can make any efficiencies to those processes and procedures, but also how can we help to make your lives every day much easier than they are today. So just kind of listening in for those things that maybe they don't even bring up that you hear and you ask them questions about. And you might even be helping them with something that they, hadn't even come to you for, which is really rewarding and satisfying as well, as a product manager to, uncover something that really is a problem for the credit union and help them to get to where they need to be or where they would like to be. So
All right. So
lots of active listening.
yes, yes, yes. Well, and I think that the part of the point there that we have to make to our member credit unions is, we're asking a lot of questions, not to be nosy.
Hmm.
We're asking the questions because we really are trying to help them become efficient and streamline it and give them solutions that are really going to make their life easier and help the credit union, protect the credit union. Good
Yeah,
points there as far as
it's
making sure
never
they
about forcing a product. It's more
no.
about making sure they get what exactly they need and
Yeah.
know that we have that solution to offer them.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So then how do we as an organization ensure the products we offer integrate well with all of those core systems and other providers?
Well, I can speak from my perspective. I, do a lot of work with, our member credit unions. If there's an API connection that, a member might be interested in for, let's say, instant payments, working with those vendors, having those conversations to kind of talk about how we can work together, what we can do to meet the needs of our mutual clients, because, you know, we can work together in some capacity to meet the goals of the credit union. And at the same time, we can work to create innovative, solutions for the credit unions, put them in a place where they need to be. And so we work really closely with those vendors, our vendors, and other vendors that, our credit unions work with to try to establish those relationships and then establish the connections downstream from there so that our members can take advantage of them. Because, it's great to have an instant payment service or whatever solution you're looking for, but you need to have the connections to facilitate that. So, with those not being in place, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult in an uphill battle for the credit union. So, we really take some of that fight out of the scenario for them by stepping in and, coming in from a direction of expertise to facilitate like those conversations and make everything easier for them.
Okay. All right. Brian, do you run into this a lot as far as core systems in your within the security and risk services?
Sometimes, not so much, and I usually have to bring in a little bit of expert help with that, with information security and core systems, but not as much.
Okay. All right. So then, the world around us is constantly changing. So how do we stay ahead of industry changes, to make sure credit unions are future ready? I mean, Brian, cybersecurity, it's not going away and there's
No,
constantly new things
no.
there. So, how are you staying ahead there?
So, continuous learning and engagement, specifically with the partners, always working with them on a regular basis. They're deeply embedded in the cybersecurity landscape, so I'm making sure I'm staying in touch with what they're offering. Also attend industry conferences, participate in vendor and regulatory discussions, just listen to credit unions and what their challenges are.
All right. And then we're also seeing, the expansion in payments. I mean, FedNow is only a few years old at this point, but we're also seeing, additional things coming. We've got the digital wallets and things like that. So how are you guys kind of staying on top of the payments world?
Yeah, I will. Oh, go ahead,
I would
Anthony.
think, yeah, I
I'll
would
let
think
you
the
go.
same thing. Yeah, I think the same thing as Brian. We're attending, conferences and webinars that we attend to, and then passing an education on to our credit union. So, it's just staying relevant and keeping up with the industry standards and making sure that we're on top of it and sharing that information to our member credit unions as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll echo that. Our Our product managers at Vizo Financial are very motivated to stay, on top of industry trends, and we are, all learners here. So we are very, very, committed to ensuring that we go for accreditations. Many of us have AAPs, AFPPs, and APRPs here at the corporate. So we do take education very seriously for ourselves, and then passing that knowledge on to our members.
Okay. All right. So my next question might be a little selfish on my end. So how do you collaborate with sales, marketing, and operations to deliver the best experience?
Well, I'll talk from my perspective. I do some of the webinars, for the ACH rule updates. I do a couple other webinars throughout the year, and I'll do speaking events, things like that. So just working with the marketing team, working with the sales team, our corporate account managers to work on leads and opportunities to make sure that the credit unions have everything that they need, and that they're being taken care of. And then we also work, with marketing on those webinars, on blogs, and kind of, even with the last rule update webinar, we then had a blog that came out after that to kind of reinforce those educational items inside of the webinar, and then have the article kind of follow up to that as a way to facilitate further education. So I think that we have a lot of good content when it comes to the marketing effort for payments, and I think we'll continue to see that going through forward.
All right.
And I know the marketing team and the corporate account managers keep me very busy. So there's continuous leads coming in and conversations being had. And then it goes the other way too. We make sure that get the information back we're hearing from members to marketing and the corporate account managers to make sure we're staying on top of everything.
All right. So what does accelerating credit union success mean to you in your role? Anthony, how about we start with you?
It's simply matching the credit union, listening to them, on the discovery call and matching them with the best product or service we have for their needs. So it's not kind of forcing anything onto them. It's understanding no two credit unions are alike with their location or with their memories, but it's making sure we have the product or service that they want that matches with their needs and creating efficiency for them, saving them some time, money, everything like that. So.
Okay. Andy, what about you?
Yeah, of course, Anthony stole my answer, but no, it's okay. So I'll echo that, but I also even furthermore will say that we're here to help comfort the credit union. We're here to be a trusted partner for you. We're here to have you say to us, I'm thinking this. What do you think? And that, we can then respond to that and tell them, hey, I've seen this, or I would change my perspective on this, or maybe you should think about this aspect. So there's a lot of different things that we do to help accelerate the success of a credit union. But I think that the thing that matters most to me is providing that sense of comfort. There's a lot of unknowns when it comes to payments, and everything's changing so rapidly. So it's really nice to be there for the credit union when they have uncertain times, and they're not really sure where to go next. And so doing that matchmaking role for the credit unions is really, really important to us.
All right. Brian, what
To
about
me,
you?
sure. To me, accelerating credit union success means helping them operate safely, confidently, and efficiently in an increasing complex risk environment. And strong risk management isn't just about protection, it's about enabling growth.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to ask, what excites you most in your role about helping the credit union succeed? Brian, and we'll have you kick this one off.
Sure. To me, it's rewarding to know that the solutions we help deliver have a real impact on the operational stability and long-term success of our members.
Yeah. Yeah. Anthony, anything more to add to that?
It's gaining their trust and confidence, and in the CAMs and myself that we're providing the best possible product or solution for them going through with it, and then getting a follow-up email. Thank you. This has been great. I recommended it to XYZ credit union, and getting an email from them. You talked to somebody about this and made their life easier. Can you help us?
Yeah. Yeah. Andy, anything more?
I always say that my greatest compliment is, when a credit union's faced with a problem, or, they don't know what to do. They're like, oh my gosh, what should I do? They think who has the answer to this? Who has the answer to my problem, or who might be able to help me? And if my name pops into their head, that is my greatest compliment. And that's how I would measure my excitement and how I've succeeded helping the credit unions.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience on how your roles are helping credit unions succeed? Any final thoughts?
Nope, we're just excited to continue to see what's all coming for 2026. I'm sure it's going to be overwhelming, but very exciting. And we can't wait to, go on that journey with everyone.
All right.
Definitely.
So for those listening, if you need any help, feel free to reach out to anyone here on the screen today. So what stands out in this conversation is that product management isn't about selling tools. It's about building solutions together. To our product management teams, thank you for being those experts, those strategists, those connectors or matchmakers behind the solutions. I'd also like to thank Vizo Financial's Education Rewards Program for sponsoring today's episode. With Vizo Financial's Education Rewards Program, you earn rewards for each Vizo Financial conference, workshop, and webinar you attend. How does it work? First, check out our upcoming educational opportunities and get registered. Then simply attend and start earning rewards for your credit union as well as yourself. At the credit union level, the top 10 ranked financial institutions will receive free registrations. At the individual level, you'll receive prizes like portable speakers, socks, Yeti tumblers. Plus, for every educational session you attend, you will be entered into a random drawing for a $100 gift card with one winner chosen each quarter. Rewards are waiting. Sign up for those educational opportunities today at www.vfccu.org. Vizo Financial's product managers serve as our architects. They connect strategies to systems, features to functionality. And when that alignment is well done, they're strengthening operations, improving member experience, and positioning credit unions for sustainable growth. That's what accelerating credit union success looks like in action. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Financial Minds. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts. With that, I hope you have a great day.